Hello and welcome to SoBricks. I'm Adam and this is SoBricks. This is my channel for reviewing Lego sets and building them and other Lego related stuff. In this video, I'm going to be taking a look at the Lego Marvel, the Infinity Saga, Black Panther Dragon Flyer. This is set number 76186. It has 202 pieces, and I paid $15 for this set. So this set is from the Endgame. I think officially it released though in 2021 into 2022, and it retailed for $20 back then. So I got this for 15. I think this set and these characters aren't especially valuable, but I was still really interested in this for a couple different reasons. Well, I like the shape. It kind of, in some ways, reminds me of like the what did they call it? In Ornithopter or something from the Dune series, which Lego did make as a set, which I haven't looked at yet, but I'm trying to. This kind of looks similar to that, it has that dragonfly look. And 202 pieces for $15 plus 3 minifigures seems like a pretty fair deal. It appears that that is kind of the going price on Bricklink and eBay. It seems to be around the $15 mark, maybe even a little bit less for certain things. I'm thinking, it's not. $15 sets are becoming more and more rare. So to get this for $15 new in box feels pretty good in my opinion. So I'm excited to take a look at this. I'm excited to see, what's stickers and what are not stickers. And I thought there was like some interesting stuff going on the back here. It's probably pretty small, but I'm still interested in it either way. So I'm going to take a look at it. So in this video, I'm going to open this up. I'm going to put this together and then I'm going to share my thoughts on it. So while I build, I will speed the video up and then I'll slow it back down to review this set. So until then, enjoy. Okay, so while we look at the build for this LEGO Marvel Infinity Saga Black Panther Dragon Flyer, I just wanted to say thanks for watching and then remind you if you like this video, click the thumbs up. If you like my other videos, click the subscribe button. That helps me a lot. And then I wanted to talk about the build. It's a pretty small set, comes together quick. We're working on kind of the tail end and maybe the body of what looks to be like a kind of dragonfly. We do these nice cheese wedges there to get those kind of nice texture on the side, add some blade accessories for some kind of legs, and then we can work on the sort of cockpit area or the head of the dragonfly here. It's a couple stickers in this set, not a big deal. We do add on some like stud shooters and different stuff like that up here, and then once that's finished we can work on the wings. The wings are really basic and they're same right to left, just mirrored, so that's kind of everything there. And now on to my review for this set. Okay, so that is this LEGO Marvel Infinity Saga Black Panther Dragon Flyer set. This is okay. I think I like the idea of this better than I like the execution. I'm actually not so thrilled about what this is, but we will get into it and go through all of that. And the first thing we will look at is the minifigures, because you do get some. This is Black Panther's Dragon Flyer. So the first figure we will look at is Black Panther here. And this is pretty standard. I think I have a couple different versions of Black Panther. I don't know how many there have been. Looking up at the head printing there, really good printing for the mask kind of stuff. Good detail, good color, good metallic stuff there. Actually, the printing for the eyes is done pretty well, so I'm happy about that. It does have the like Black Panther ears up here, which is fine. I don't know if it's covering up any printing, but they don't have any printing on like the earpiece that goes on the head. Maybe that would have been good. Same for on the back, really good printing for the back there as well. On the torso, very detailed, some fine lines, some tiny dots, good pops of color. The like kind of talons or whatever around the necklace are really nice in metallic as well. So this is good to see this. No printing on the midsection, no printing on the legs. Maybe could have used that. Nothing on the arms, back of the torso feels pretty good as well. So overall okay. And like I say, I'm not sure if this is the same as some other ones I have, but it is nice to get that figure. If not, the next one is Shuri. I'm almost positive I've have multiple versions of Shuri here. They do have like two power kind of gauntlet things right there. Hairpiece feels about right. Nice details on the head here with the different colors, different kind of face markings and everything there, almost like piercings as well, or just painting. Same on the alternate face with a different expression. Eyes are good, so I like that. Looking at the torso, this is pretty standard. Kind of got the armor up here, bare arms there, no printing on the midsection, no printing on the legs. Good details for kind of the ties up in there and all the little sections kind of up around the neckline. Kind of the different panels down here are nice. The back, pretty similar to the front, but a good amount of details there, or decent amount. And then the last one is a Chitauri, which we have this built kind of accessory here, kind of this weapon for the Chitauri, and these are pretty standard with other ones. So the face has good detail there. The back of it has less detail, but it makes sense. And then we have kind of the different I don't know if they're body parts or armor or a little bit of both, kind of different stuff on the right and left, sort of side areas there and the chest area there. No printing on the midsection, no printing on the legs, no printing on the arms. Arms are a different color. And then the back here with kind of different panels and, some good details, but Chitauri figures are relatively common. So not crazy, but they are also a figure that maybe people really wanted to get a bunch of. So those are the three figures you get in this set. And then the rest of this set is this dragon flyer here. So this is sort of a flying vehicle that has a look kind of like a dragonfly, or at least that's the intention there. And let me see. There are stickers in this set, just a few. So sticker sheet right here, right off the bat. One right there, that one is a sticker, and then these two are as well. So 3 stickers on this one piece back here. The other 2 stickers are internal, so therefore the controls kind of on the side there and there. So those are stickers, and then the canopy actually is printed, and it's done really, really well. I like the blue, how the blue comes through this like dark translucent here to kind of give it a nice glow. And then the printing up here, down the side, across the front, over on this side is really good. And I'd much rather have that be, it's printing on here is way more important to me than like printing back here. So I would much rather have this be printed and instead of having like this be printed and have this be stickers. That's just a personal thing for me. I don't like putting stickers on like canopies and cockpit covers and anything like that. And then we can look at the build of this. So the interesting thing about this is that there's like different orientations for it. When I saw the box, was really interested about this part back here. These are just like light blue translucent cheese wedges all the way down. Nothing crazy there. I think the shape of this is nice. The wings are kind of built the same except mirrored there, and they are attached with like mixel ball joints, so we can like fold them up. We can turn them different ways, like tilts them. something like that. We can have some going up and some going down. You can kind of get these in a lot of different orientations, kind of can move them back a bit, lean them forward, turn them kind of like that. So there is some good stuff there. They're pretty simple to build, but that's okay. Actually, right beneath that, we have these like blade accessory elements, which almost look like insect sort of legs or something in there. So that is kind of cool. Most of the build for this is pretty straightforward. Kind of a hull piece in here, some bricks, plates, a couple different things. But a lot of this is ends up being kind of hollow, and it actually becomes one of the things that I don't like about this. So, I think this looks okay. There's another kind of configuration. So we do have these hinge joints back there down at the bottom. So those are right there, and we can open that up. It does clip together. So we have one clip going into that bar kind of recessed in there. So when it is like this, you can hold it from the front, not a big deal. Doesn't take too much to open it up, but it can open up. So we could have it something like this, which is featured on the box. Maybe we would want to turn these wings a little bit different here, make them something like that. And that could be fine, which is okay. And then so you build kind of the rear and you build the cockpit separately. The thing that I don't love about the back here is how these are done. These just feel, there's like, even when it's like this, it feels like these could very easily get, come off or get out of line. And I don't think, these are necessarily intended to be able to fly out like that. Maybe they are, but I don't remember anything like that, and I don't see any indication of that on the box or anything. So these are just on like a 1x10 or 1x12 or whatever these are, and they get clipped kind of on the back there. And then they're not held in super securely. So we have kind of this fan piece or like mech hand piece, and we clip on some different pieces there. So you got the basic clip in the middle with the bar there, and then these have the like bar attachment hole area. So they're a little bit thicker. So you have those on the outside, you got the one in the middle, but so that keeps them from coming out when it's like this. But gravity can, and then just a little bit because of how these are clipped on, there's a good amount, there's a little bit of wiggle up at the front, and that equates to like a good amount of distance at the very end of this. It just travels farther because of that. So I maybe would have liked this to have been done slightly differently, so those are more stable and more like secure. So I would have liked to see that. The angle is nice, but not my favorite there way to connect them. And I do like how it looks from like the top here, how these kind of go and taper with the back there, and using these stickers to kind of accentuate some of that, which I think is nice. There's not too many colors that are like off here. The spots of blue kind of make sense. Got these fins or wings at the back there. And then we have the front section, and we have those 6 kind of legs down there. So the front, again, it is very simple to build, uses kind of this inverted piece or kind of hull piece there, some angled plates. Again, we have a little bit of blue through here, not a big deal, and some little details there. Got these little kind of almost fangs or eyes or something coming up. And then we have stud shooters on the side. These are the slightly older style. We do have the light blue translucent studs here to load that up. You got 6 of them there and 1 more in the extra pieces. So those can go on either side. They stick out a little bit. This can open up, and that looks okay. I mean, it's still swooshable, although I would try not to like hold it by these things, but like something up here. I mean, there are different ways, and it doesn't look fantastic when it's like this, but it also doesn't look terrible, and I think it's intended to kind of be like that. So that kind of works for me. We can fit a character in here. We can only fit one. So if I pop this off, oh, the little light blue translucent came off there. I can pop Shuri into this. So we can see what that looks like. I don't believe you can have them in here or would want to have them in here with their kind of power gauntlet type things. So let's see if I can get them kind of set in there, studded down. And they look okay. They're kind of leaning back, but seems all right. And if it was flying kind of leaning forward, it would be totally cool. If we have it out like this, we can also lean that forward a little bit, and I think it looks pretty good there. There might be space to just throw the kind of accessories into the kind of cockpit area there. I don't know for certain if this will fit, but appears that it does. Just have those rattling around in there, but there's not too many places for them to go. So that's not bad, but there's not like, I don't think any specified kind of designated area for those. And then, the other two figures, they don't have a ton of interaction with this in terms of like being loaded up or whatever. I mean, with a Chitauri, they could be in, battle or flying around each other there. If we look at the kind of box cover art, Black Panther and Chitauri kind of down on the ground or on this surface, and Shuri is flying this dragon flyer. If we look at the back, we can see now in this one, Black Panther is flying it, and you do kind of see that underside there, and then we have Shuri and the Chitauri over there. So those are kind of the options for this. Ultimately, I think this is a cool design for a ship. I don't think it was executed, super perfectly. I think this could be improved on without sacrificing too much. And I think in terms of kind of interesting, unique kind of spaceships or flyers or different things, I'm always interested in seeing more variety coming out of Marvel and Star Wars and anything else that does it, even Ninjago and Dreams and Monkey Kid and all that stuff. Any sci-fi adjacent things, fantasy things where they have flyers. I like to see different stuff. I don't think this is, I think this is like a pretty cool design. I also really like, I think I mentioned this at the beginning, the Dune kind of, or like ornithopter or whatever that is, which has sort of some similarities to this, at least in the like silhouette or in the like form that it's taking. But that one's obviously much, much bigger and has all sorts of different stuff. This one, we can play with some of these things, moving some of these legs and different stuff. These legs aren't landing gear. They're not going to be strong enough to land on, but that is okay there. And there's not like a ton that can be done with it. If we were like swooshing this, you might have to use like two hands to kind of make these work. You could hold it from the front, I suppose, maybe back here, kind of on these rounded tiles. You could maybe hold it and then like slide a finger up. But even that seems, well, if I can almost do it with one hand and still get these. It's a little bit challenging, but two hands would make it pretty trivial. So that is fine. I don't know which kind of orientation I like it in better. In kind of this way is cool. I think this looks pretty cool, even though we're seeing a lot of the underside of plates. There's just something about this that looks awesome to me. This kind of empty space here doesn't look as good, but what can you do when you have something kind of like this? So that is pretty good. And that's kind of everything for this, there's not a ton to talk about in terms of like building techniques. Yeah, for the most part, it's pretty straightforward. There really is, the only interesting thing is like this, and I'm not, that's something that I might have a little bit of a problem with. Even if we could have like clipped these onto something, and maybe they tried that and they just couldn't get it to sit right. Maybe that angle is just not legal for Lego if we like cheated these out a little bit and then put a like clip on here, and maybe that angle isn't like compatible with the kind of fanned out hand type piece there with the kind of curved bar. I don't know. Maybe I'll play around with it. I'm sure there are people who have kind of made some improvements to this already, but that is kind of everything there. In terms of the figures, they're okay. You do get 3 of them. It's a small set. Getting 3 figures, even if they are, relatively common, not especially detailed, I still think there's some value in that. I mean, these figures are not valuable in the secondary market or anything, but 3 figures is nice, and I'm glad they didn't like pump up the MSRP of this set or anything like that. Now this kind of came off of there. Get that back on. There we go. I will show the extra pieces, and there's not a ton of them. Few little gold pieces which are used for the Chitauri accessory there. Some of the black pieces, the minifig or the stud shooter trigger, a couple cheese slopes there, and then you get an extra of the Black Panther kind of ear piece here. So those are all the extra pieces, and this set is 202 pieces, and I paid $15 for it. It retailed for $20, I want to say, but here we can see 202. I paid $15. It was retired when I bought this. This is a set that didn't go up in value very much. It's actually lower than MSRP right now, and this is from 2021, so a couple of years old at this point. I think there are still a lot of these floating around. Look, for $20 in 2021 or whatever, this isn't that bad. A lot of little pieces. Just counting up all of the cheese slopes back here, we're probably left to 180 pieces, and then if you count the figures and their accessories and the ammunition for the stud shooters, stuff like that, we're probably in the 160 pieces, and there's not anything crazy. Printed piece is nice. This is a bigger piece, but the rest of it's like pretty straightforward, pretty standard, and the build wasn't terribly exciting in my opinion, but it's small. It's a 200 piece set. I think $20 isn't bad, especially considering the figures. Like I know that these are, no printing on the legs, no printing on the arms or whatever, but it's IP, it's Marvel, it's Disney, and or maybe it's not technically Disney, but I think it is. And Black Panther is really popular. Shuri, not so much. Chitauri, good for massing, getting a lot of them, and then you get like a flyer, a ship, kind of a decent model there. So I think there is enough value here for the $20. I think for $15 it makes sense too. I also think there's like a lot of better sets out there. This one's just sort of so-so in my opinion. That said, I do want like more sets like this at this price point. So $20 for this, $15 for this, in this kind of piece count, this kind of size with the minifigures, I feel like is pretty darn good. So I was happy to get this for $15. I think I might have used like store credit when I bought this as well. So it was, I would say, a decent deal. I'm happy with that. And, not my favorite set. Maybe not the worst set I've seen, but just so-so, kind of a basic little thing with some problems in the build, in my opinion. So that is everything for that, and I think that is it. So great, I like it. Okay. If you like this video, please click the thumbs up and give it a like. If you like my other videos, click the subscribe button down below so you can stay up to date on all the Lego videos I'll be doing here in the future, including a ton of other Lego sets, Lego Marvel, new sets, old sets, retired sets, used sets, big sets, small sets. As at the time of recording this, it is August 3rd, 2025. So I'll be covering a bunch of the August 1st, 2025 releases. There was a ton of sets that released. I'll be looking at some of those, maybe some of the One Piece and all of this other stuff. And so if you're interested in my takes on or my opinions or the words I say about some of those other sets, maybe consider subscribing. That helps me a lot. And then if you wanted to support this channel in a different way, you can give money to the channel if you would like. I buy all these sets with my own money. I don't get anything sent to me from any company or Lego or anything like that. So if you want to give some support back, you can financially. So there's membership, supers, and thanks. It's Patreon. It's linked in the video description, linked on my channel page, patreon.com/SoBricks. There's a buy me a coffee link. There'll be some affiliate links. Those affiliate links work whether you buy this set or a different set, or you buy like stickers or HDMI cords or anything you might buy, clamps, and I might get like a small percentage of that sale at no additional cost to you. So if you use one of those links, search for whatever you were going to buy anyway, I might get a little something, which every little bit helps out. It does add up. So thank you very much. And with all that said, until next time, thanks. Bye.